Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today, and thank you very much for joining me in another one of my Advent Countdown projects. This is one that you would make with your children in those few days before Christmas when they've broken up from school, they're climbing the walls because Father Christmas isn't arriving soon enough, so you're making a decoration with them. And you perhaps can't see it very well on my desk, but it is a hanging decoration. If I stretch this out, you can see, kind of see what's meant to go on. And it's using the Colour Me Christmas set, which by the very name lends itself to colouring in. Now I'm going to do a plain black and white version of it. This is one that I've coloured in not very well because I'm not very good at the whole colouring in thing. And so I coloured it in advance, and each of these little scallop circles has been popped up on dimensionals. But to do a plain one with your children, it would end up looking like this. So it's completely flat. So I'm going to show you how to make this version, and then they can colour it in when they want. And actually I'm going to make enough of these for all of my children so that they will colour them in, and I will put details on my blog of their results. So I've cut the 5 big circles out first, which is using the 2.5 inch circle punch, which is this one. And I have done that deliberately so that I can leave little knobbly bits here, so that when I stamp my images I know I'm leaving enough space for the very big 2 3/8 scallop circle. So these little knobbly bits are just going to be my little guide. So black stays on, and I've got the Christmas tree, and they're all prepped up in advance. The parcel, let me just turn this around so I can... So I'm not working upside down, basically. And the stays on is great because although I use Stampin' Right markers, I'm not going to let my children use them. I love my children dearly, but I'm not going to let them use mine. So if you use, if your children are just going to use their regular colouring in pens and stuff, the black stays on will mean that it's not going to rub off the outer image. There we go. So you just come along and punch them all out. Leave it a second to dry. As you can see, I've just smudged slightly there. And the Christmas tree, make sure not to take off the star or the bottom of the pot. I have the parcel. And then Father Christmas, again, watch that you're not going to knock off his, chop off his boots or his part of his hat. This is perfectly fitting. And again, with the reindeer, be careful not to take off bits of him. There is a way that it fits perfectly, that you can get between his antlers and his feet. And the scallops all just fit together nicely. There we go. So you're not losing any of him. And then finally the stocking. And with these, because I want to string them before the children colour them in, you just use snail on the back of these, and it's enough to hold them in place. Almost, oh, there it is. And just line them up in the centre. And obviously it does look different if, depending on whether you're going to use dimensionals or not. You could maybe put a colour behind these, a coloured card, instead of the white circle. It's up to you. There we go. And then just come along with a small hole punch. Punch the circle, which is where your string is going to go. Or your ribbon, or whatever you're hanging it with. And obviously I've only done 5 here, but my original I had 10. But it doesn't really matter whether you've got 5 or 10. And you just come along and string, and I'm stringing from front to back. Oops. I would if I could get my fingers to work. And it doesn't matter which order, it's all up to you. My feeling with any project I do is I'm just doing the build. The rest is up to your imagination. And And I think that's the best thing about crafting, is it's all down to your imagination and your creativity. So last one, and then just make a loop with the string. So you make a loop, wrap it round your finger, and then poke that loop through the bigger one, and that's made your loop. And do not do what I've just done, which has caused me to refilm, and cut your loop off. There we go, the tail's cut off, and then just stretch it out as you want, with whatever distance you want between. That looks pretty good to me. And then create another loop the other end. And again, don't cut the loop off, cut the tail off. And then that is ready for a small person to colour in, ready for Christmas, when Father Christmas just hasn't arrived fast enough. So one of my boys will be decorating this one, another one will be decorating this one, and I'm filming this so far in advance of actually when it's going to go out on the blog. I will have made 2 more, and the other boys will have coloured them in, and I will be able to share all of theirs with you. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Do click the description bar below to go and see their finished results, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.